Good day, America. This is Solutions for Life, brought to you by the Share Foundation. I'm Dr. Gerald Coy. The Share Foundation is a public, nonprofit charitable organization dedicated to the advancement of natural health care services, especially through the chiropractic profession and through alternative health care services that are available to each and every one of you. Today, we're going to talk about what brought about Solutions for Life in a book that was written by myself called Solutions to the American Health Crisis. As you can see, it's a book that's a little bit has some controversy. Controversy in the sense that it's hanging a bunch of people. And that's what I'm concerned about. These are the people who are what I call the 21st century mass murderers. These are the bad doctors. These are immoral attorneys. These are incompetent hospitals, greedy drug pushers, and uncaring politicians. Have you ever had any contact with anybody like that? If you have, then you were part of the crisis. You see, there are hundreds of thousands of people killed every year due to drug error, hospital error, doctor error. You've heard about the wrong leg being cut off or the wrong kidney being taken out of. You've heard about the wrong medications that have been given. And there are people who died. I was just spending the holiday with some friends. One of them works at a hospital, and they were talking about the mistake made by a technician in the amount of drugs that was placed in an IV that killed the patient. And, or someone will talk about a doctor here or a doctor there that didn't do their job correctly. I have to laugh, in a very sad way, because this is your life. This is your life that they're dealing with. And if they make a mistake, you pay the price. Well, it is time for Christmas. It's time for the holidays, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. And the Share Foundation is asking for your support. We bring you this program, Solutions for Life. We also have the books that are available. We operate the Share Clinics, which are ability to pay facilities in the greater Los Angeles area. But this book is a full-size book. It has over 70 illustrations, some of them sadly humorous, but it helps you to understand what you can do to have a healthier life. It's written in 4 parts, but it's in its introduction. When I was first conceiving of this book, I had been writing several articles for the newspapers referring to them as the American health crisis. Because we are in crisis. We are in crisis in the sense that doctors don't really seem to care anymore. The technical and pharmaceutical world has overtaken medicine to where you don't have doctors really taking care of you. You have technicians who look at their computers, look at the stats, look at the tests, look at the results, and forget to look at the patient. Have you experienced that? I know I have. I know doctors don't listen like they used to listen. They look at the chart. They look at what they feel is important. And I've got news for them. What is important is you. And until you stand up and say, "Doctor, this isn't right. I don't accept this," it's not going to change. So if you've had a bad experience with bad doctors, if you've had an attorney who really didn't care about your health, he just wanted to see about making some money, or if you've been into a hospital recently and you find out that they really aren't doing the right job, they're making mistake after mistake, or you're listening to those commercials that are continuously you're being bombarded with on television, telling you about this drug or that drug. Why are these drug companies talking to you about a drug that needs a prescription in the first place? These are they should be talking to the medical profession, but the medical profession has become morally bankrupt. Doctors don't care. In fact, doctors have given up a lot of their authority, even in the pharmacy world. They've shoved it over to the pharmacist. Now you have doctors of pharmacy who are the ones who are supposed to decide how much, what is the dosage and everything else that might be given. And yet the medical doctor is still being overly paid for services he really doesn't deserve to be paid for. A lot of it is guessing. A lot of it is poor services. They're not caring services. And yet, you're the one that pays the price. So I strongly urge that you learn more about all of this, not to depress you, but to help you. The purpose of the book was to give you information, because education and information is power. This is how you learn how to take better care of yourself. This is what we teach our children. If you don't know, how do you know to teach your kids? And this is what you share with your friends and your neighbors. This is how we stay healthy. This is how we improve our healthcare system, is becoming informed, becoming educated. And that's really what the book is meant to do. The Share Foundation, as a public nonprofit charitable organization, depends upon the support of the public. We are offering this book with a $30 donation to anybody who will contact the Share Foundation at area code 562-776-1727. It's a $30 donation. It's the holiday time. Get a book for yourself. Get a second book for your doctor to put in his waiting room. If he's a good doctor, he will like to have this information. Why? Because it's helping to educate his patients so they can take better care of themselves. Again, if you want the book, it's area code 562-776-1727. It's a Share Foundation, and we will get a copy sent out to you, and you'll have it in time for the holidays. This supports so many of the Share Foundation's programs. It supports this radio program. It supports the writing of the books. It supports the Share Clinic. The Share Clinic is where you can come and have a consultation with the professional, with the doctor, at no cost, to find out if there are services that are available to you that can help you to live a healthier life or to recover from conditions that have failed in medical care. We need to change our healthcare system. But there's a lot of political battles going on, and I put a dedication into the book that talks that, the Declaration of Independence, we talked about the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How can you have life if you don't have access to some basic health care? Now, does that mean that everybody's going to get a heart transplant? No, it's not a good idea in the first place. You need to take better care of your heart. Does this mean that everybody's going to have, the ability to get anything and everything they want? No. It means you're going to have access to care that's going to offer you how to take better care of yourself. Instead of running off to the emergency rooms where they're overcrowded, and you can walk away with a simple problem that costs you $2,000-$3,000, especially if you're uninsured. We have 51 million Americans out there that are uninsured. We have a new law called the Affordable Health Care Act that is trying to make a difference. Is it a good bill? Is it a bad bill? Is there good things in it, bad things in it? Probably yes and no, and yes there is, and no there isn't, and no, and there's all sorts of arguments. The thing is a lot of people like to criticize, but very few people offer solutions. This is called Solutions for Life. That's why we called this program Solutions for Life, because we were looking to see if there are different solutions that will help you. You have to look for other solutions. Not everybody's going to be offering them to you. You have to be willing to get out there and learn. Educate yourself. Get on the computer. Google the information. If you're prescribed a medication, you need to get on the computer and find out what contraindications there are for that medication. You might be surprised that some of the health problems you're having are caused by the drugs you're taking. And they're causing more and more problems. They're causing massive deaths. A lot more than you realize. And yet we have the commercials that even in the commercial, it'll say this, you need to take this drug so you're happier, or so you can breathe better, or so you can have better sex, or whatever it might be. And then in a slower tone, talking a little bit faster, while everybody looks happy on the TV, they're telling you how it can damage your liver, how it can cause more problems, and how it can even kill you. So be very, very careful. First place, I don't think there should be any of these commercials on the television. I think if you want written information, if they want to publish their book, then you want to read about it, that's one thing. I think it should be on Google information. I think they can promote the knowledge about this in a written format and not in a Madison Avenue slick campaign that gets you to think that, oh, this is a solution, when in reality it is also a problem. We need to change the way in which we promote healthcare. We need to get it into a fashion where we understand that health is a natural, God-given birthright. You're supposed to be healthy, but you need to take good care of yourself. And we've talked about that in past shows. We've been doing these shows for several months now, trying to get people to understand what it is they need to do to be healthy. As I told you, the book is in 4 parts. The first part is kind of telling you what you need to know about healthcare. And we talk about the high cost of healthcare. It is overpriced for what you get. You know, if you go out there and someone says, I want to sell you this little Volkswagen, but I want to charge you $100,000 for it, you're going to say he's crazy. Where we're buying in healthcare Volkswagens for $100,000 or $200,000. It is overpriced. Doctors are overpaid. Hospitals are greedy. Pharmaceutical companies are greedy. And we need to say, no, this is not to our best interest. We need to make changes. We need healthcare reform. Now, we talk about health insurance. We have programs that people agree with and disagree with. When I was in college, they were passing the law for Medicare, that senior citizens. Of course, at my age then, I didn't care about it, Medicare. At this age, hey, it's nice to have. I wish there were better doctors servicing Medicare, doctors that would listen to you. It's nothing worse than go to a doctor with a problem and they ignore you. They just look at a chart and they say, well, I want this test and I want that test and on down the line, and they don't even bother listening to you. So when we come back in a few moments, we will talk about the solutions to the American Health Crisis book and how you can get your copy and contribute to the Share Foundation. Be right back. The Share Foundation is the health division of the Coy Chiropractic Institute, a 501c3 509A2 public nonprofit organization dedicated to the growth and development of the natural health care services, in particular through the chiropractic profession, offering health services at the Share clinics in the greater Los Angeles area. Your donations can help in expanding these facilities across the nation, research programs, and public education, thus offering a solution to the many of the health challenges we face. Your donations are tax-deductible and can be sent through our website at www.sharefoundation.com. That's www.cherfoundation.com by clicking on the donation button. Thank you.
Do we have your attention? When it comes to tequila, 2 things matter: heart and passion. Never compromising integrity for mass production. Number 1 Tequila delivers the goods. Taste the heart and passion of Mexico in every bottle. We make it right. We make it fun. Superior Tequila. There's only number 1. There's only number 1. There's only number 1.
Been in an accident? Then you need your vehicle professionally repaired. That's exactly what you get when you bring your vehicle to Greg's Auto Body Repair. 3 quotes within minutes. We will provide everything you need for a hassle-free auto body repair, from an accurate estimate to working with your insurance company. We will get your vehicle to its pre-accident condition as soon as possible. Greg's Auto Body has been serving Los Angeles County and local cities since 1970. Call us at 562-789-1300.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home. At AJR & Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR and Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-882-1976. Or you can log on to www.hrrealtors.com.
With a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español.
And we're back. I'm Dr. Gerald Coy, and this is Solutions for Life, and we're talking about solutions to the American health crisis. A full-size book, 250 pages, with a lot of fun illustrations about some very, very serious things. We were talking earlier about some of the difficulties we have in our healthcare system and some of the things that the public needs to know. You need to know. If you want to know more, get this book. It's through the Share Foundation. You can contact us on our website at www.sherfoundation.com and request the book there. Or you can call the Share Foundation at their Share Clinic and get a book through them. That's by calling area code 562-776-1727. Get one copy, get two copies. And if you mention the fact that you were listening to me on Rant Radio, the shipping is free. We will send it out to you. It's a $30 donation to the Share Foundation to support the Share Clinic, this program, and the other programs we have to assist you, the public, to learning more about health care. In the book, one of the articles that was written is about pregnancy and how medical doctors took over pregnancy and made it a condition that they terminate in 9 months, not a natural process. We have hospitals where the operation, that's a cesarean section, of delivery is over 1/3 of the births. By all medical knowledge, no amount is justified over 5%. In fact, even at that, 2 or 3% would be the most reasonable amount of cesareans that are absolutely necessary for the health of the child and the mother. But, hey, it's faster, it's easier, it's on schedule, and who really cares about it? It's only your body that's being cut open. It's only you that are being deprived of a natural, healthy child coming through you to you the way that it was intended. So we talk about that. We also talk about the amount of testing. I just received a call from an advocate in Texas where my nephew is seriously injured in a hospital. And she's saying, well, the doctors wanted to do a bunch of tests. And I told them no, because they had just done the tests. People like to do tests. Hospitals like to do tests. Why? Because they get a lot of money on tests. I'm reminded of a lady who was 90-some years of age, dying of various complications and difficulty, heart conditions, and they were wanting to do a pap smear test on her. Did that make sense? No. But do the hospitals care? No. Do they care about one thing? That's the bottom line. They don't care how they get it. They'll charge you $10 for a comb, an aspirin, or whatever it might be, to make up the losses. But then we have our politicians who say that all facilities have to be open for emergencies and then don't fund it. So the hospitals lose money one place and turn around and charge it another place. Is it right? No. Is that the solution? No. You need to speak up to your politicians and say, no, this is not, I don't believe that a hospital room should cost more than the Ritz-Carlton, where the services, by the way, is a hell of a lot better than another hospital. So we talk about over-testing. We talk about the fact that too much is done in testing. In medicine, it is approximately 80% testing and 20% care services. And even those are many times minimal. Here's a prescription. Take this drug. See you tomorrow. Look at other natural health care services. In chiropractic, there's probably 10% testing and 90% treatment, and a lot of others the same way. In acupuncture and nutrition, where evaluation of what your needs might be are dealt with, and then the major procedure is to give you some form of services and care. And then if it doesn't get worse as you age, in the last 5% of life, you will spend 90% of the cost. Don't plan on having money from your parents nowadays, because if they go into the hospital and they spend any amount of time, and it doesn't have to be a long amount of time either, everything that they have worked their entire life for will be due and payable to the hospital, even if they have Medi-Cal. And, of course, if the hospital wants to, they'll be running at least a dozen tests that aren't unnecessary and charging for things that really they shouldn't be. But that's okay. That's how they make their money. Okay, but the thing is, you need to also know in the beginning, what is health? I had mentioned before that health is a natural state of being. You're born to be healthy. What does it take to be healthy? What is it you have to do? What do you have to participate? We know that eating properly is important. We know that getting exercise is important. You have to make sure you are doing what is necessary. You've got to be responsible for you too. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't blame somebody else. And yet we do that all the time. Oh, let's smoke. Let's drink too much. Let's abuse our body because somebody else will pay the bill. Or I'm young. I'm invulnerable. I don't have to worry about it. When I get old and I'm 40 years of age or something like this, and you start paying the price for all the stupid things you did in your youth. If you're young and stupid out there, I hope you're listening. Unfortunately, most of the people are older and now listening. Don't even think about it because they're paying the price. They're paying the price of playing sports that are abusing their body. They're paying the price of not eating, taking care of themselves and eating right or not exercising. They're paying the price of being 100 pounds overweight. All this costs us and affects our health. But then we also want to know more about what's natural. We want natural this and natural that, but do we even bother to support it? Yet there are companies out there that will abuse even the natural. They'll put chemicals and stuff that is supposed to be natural. You need to check the labels. You need to learn to read. I was watching the different programs. The food industry continually fights regulations that will cause them to have to put any kind of labeling, whether it was serving sizes to what is the ingredients in your product. Whether now the big fight is over whether something, and whether it's been genetically altered. Is that important? Is it not important? I don't know. But no one, we need knowledge. We can make our own decisions. But we need to have the information necessarily to make those decisions. Another article in the book is how does your body stay healthy? Again, you need to know what you have to do to stay healthy. It isn't something that just happens. It's the person that takes care of themselves. And then after you've learned how to stay healthy, there is a time in which the body runs its course. It's called getting older. And as we get older, we profess to have a tremendous amount of faith, and yet we're fighting tooth and nail to keep from dying. We're afraid of dying. And we want to replace all of our organs that we didn't take good care of. We want all the drugs that will keep us alive. I am reminded in a magazine that I was at when I was in college. And in fact, this was kind of the stimulus for this book, and the articles in this book was in the magazine at college. There was a news commentator who was sticking his mic into this hospital bed that had a wrinkled old nose coming out of the soft pillows, and all these tubes and everything that were attached to obviously some sort of patient underneath all the covers. And the commentary was, what do you owe your longevity to, sir? That is what is happening in this country. Medicine and technology and everything else is keeping people alive, not necessarily a quality of life, but they're keeping them alive for financial gain. Because as long as that person's breathing, they're going to get $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a day. The moment they die, no. So if you're afraid of dying, be careful how much you bankrupt your family and you give to these individuals. What is your quality of life? I know in my family, we are blessed with longevity, and we've been blessed that those in our life have been wise. I had a wonderful grandmother that I lived to be 96 years of age. And she made sure that as she got older, that there was instructions. Do not resuscitate me. Do not put me through this ordeal. If they had tried to, they would have fractured every rib in her chest. She says, no, when my time comes, I'm ready to go. I've had a good life. So don't be afraid of death. We're supposed to believe that there's something beyond this that's a lot better. So that's one of the articles. We talk about stress and how it can affect your life, and you need to overcome it. Use it or lose it. The old adage that was given to me by my grandfather. That meant if you don't use your body, you're going to lose the muscle tones. We know this. We've got to take care of it. We've got to make sure we use it. We can't sit behind a computer with games and watching a television and playing on the computer and everything else and not getting up and using our body without it costing us muscle tone and better health. The comfort of touch is something where we are getting into a society where people don't come in contact with people. Or our social media, all the contact is over the internet. People don't touch. People don't hug. Of course, you have to be careful in hugging nowadays. It's sexual harassment. We've abused things so many different ways that people don't know what to do. People don't know how to shake a hand anymore. But touching is important, the comfort of touching and being involved with those you love. Prevention, the key to health. What we do for prevention. And prevention is not drugs. Prevention is not vaccinations. Prevention is not all the medical garbage and technology that you've been led to believe it is. There is information on the internet that will point to you how this has been misread, is not the truth. You've been lied to by the pharmaceutical companies. And no, it's not a conspiracy. It's just business. But learn about this. It's not in the book, but it starts you to think. The Wheel of Health talks about, again, all the areas so you can understand how they all come together in a balanced body that is going to help you to be healthier and stay healthy. And you are old. It's okay to be old. It's okay to age. We're all hopefully going to do it. I know there are some people that don't make it. They have bad auto accidents and they don't stay with us. But the thing is, if you take care of yourself, you can be around for a long time. And it's okay to grow older. Enjoy it. I am. I'm 70. I hope to be as old as my grandmother, if not older. And when we come back, we'll talk about some of the problems with doctors. But before we leave, we will be talking about solutions. This is Solutions for Life, and I'm Dr. Coy, and we'll be right back.
Add some crazy flavor to your vape pen. You're looking for something new and exciting in liquid vapor? Go to Crazy Cloud's e-juice. Find them at burstoflavor.com and try any of the new 12 flavors they have available. Blueberry, mint, raspberry, chocolate, gummy bear, hemp, watermelon, cola, orange, pina colada, coconut, or red bully. Call us today at 855-WE-BURST or visit us at burstoflavor.com and order yours today.
What's wrong?
I can't stop craving a cigarette. I just quit. Hey, what are you smoking on?
Oh, this? Best e-juice on the planet. Burst of flavor, of course.
What's that?
Only the best alternative to smoking with a great flavor. It has a burst of flavor in every puff.
Well, does it have nicotine?
It comes in different levels, including 0. They have 20 flavors and more coming. All the products are made in the U.S. Check them out at www.burstoflavor.com or call them at 855-WE-BURST.
Hey, let's burst together.
It's not just flavor, it's an experience. Cigarettes, you've met your match.
Are you watching the game at home? Why? Come watch it at Mambo Grill, the hottest spot in Downey. You'll have good food, drinks, and a great time at a low price. We have the coldest beer in our sports bar, where you can enjoy the game on any of our huge flat screen TVs. And when your home team wins, you get 25% off anything in Mambo Grill. We're on Downey Avenue, 1 block north of Firestone, or visit us on the web. Mambo Grill, love at first bite.
Hey, bro, this is a good game. You know what would make it better?
What, bro?
A michelada.
A michelada? What's a michelada?
A michelada is somewhere in the middle of a Mexican Bloody Mary, and a Mexican margarita.
Oh, I got you covered, bro.
You got a cup in your pocket?
No, sir. I got my pocket-sized michelada. Mucho macho michelada.
Pocket size?
Pocket size, so you can take it with you anywhere you go.
Where'd you get that at?
At the nearest convenience store, and you can also buy it at muchomachomichelada.com.
You know what will make it better? After we get drunk, if they had a line we can call.
We can call their drunk line. You can leave a message and then log on to the site and listen to your stupidity afterwards.
What's that number?
It's 855-MICHE-69.
What's that number again?
855-MICHE-69.
Awesome. Mucho macho michelada.
And we're back talking about Solutions to the American Health Crisis, a book that I wrote that I am offering to all those that are interested in improving their health, taking better care of themselves, and learning how they can live a healthier, longer life. And I would like everybody to be doing exactly that. In the book, there are 4 sections. We talked about the first section, things you need to learn. In the second section, it gets a little bit more critical. This is where I rant and I rave on like on Rant Radio, and we talk about today's healthcare and doctors that kill. You have to understand that when they make a mistake, you pay the price. We talk about emergency room disasters. Oh, you think it's safe in an emergency room? I got news for you. It is chaotic, and a lot of mistakes are made. We also get into the fact that, does my doctor really care? You'll have to forgive me because the doctor was misspelled in the book. One of these days, we'll have to correct that. And what if the doctor was wrong? What if he makes a mistake? Again, you pay the price. These are articles we've written. And then you have the doctors who say, oh, there's nothing wrong. Have you ever been to a doctor and you have pain, or you have some discomfort, or something you know is not right in your body? And he says, well, there's nothing wrong. He's lying to you. What he should be saying is, I understand you have a problem here, but I cannot find the reason for it. But that would have to admit that he's not as smart as he wants you to think. He just says, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. Oh, no. But that's the stupidity of doctors. And then you have doctors who don't worry about wearing out your organs because we'll transplant. We'll find one and get a transplant for you. The next thing is, who is at risk to the American public? You have medical doctors who criticize every other profession except themselves. They don't clean up their own mess. They don't criticize themselves. Well, you'll find some doctors who will. But by and large, they're very critical of all other professions except their own. I was on television one time in which the past president of the California Medical Association was very critical of my profession. You see, I'm a chiropractor. I believe in natural health. He doesn't. And he brought up issues and things like this which had nothing to do with chiropractic. He didn't even know what chiropractic was. But the one thing he said that upset me was, one of the things that upset me, was the fact that he considered that chiropractors were a risk to the American public. Well, that was that. And I informed him that, the company that deals in risk are insurance companies. I'm not a great lover of insurance companies. They are a necessary evil. But insurance companies are the ones that measure risk. So I asked the doctor, I says, Doctor, how much do you pay in malpractice insurance? He told me, and I says, Doctor, you pay over 13 times what I pay, and therefore the insurance company, which determines risk, considers you 13 times a greater risk to the American public. After that, he had very little to say. He realized he'd been beaten down, as he should have been. The unfortunate thing in life is greed. It comes in all sorts of businesses. We see it in energy, we see it in food industry, we see it in all sorts of life. I believe in the free capitalist system. I believe that a profit needs to be made. I realize that insurance companies are a business. They're not philanthropic. I realize hospitals are a business, and they have to make a profit too. But I also believe that there is what's called an honest profit versus that which is out of just pure greed. You know, we have doctors who are out there that are charging an arm and a leg. The higher their skills are, the more value they think they are, and therefore they just simply charge anything and everything they possibly can. They feel they deserve it. Well, we have performers, we have actors, we have actresses that do the same thing. It's no difference. We may criticize the performer being on a movie that gets paid $10 million, but that's why we're paying $10 or $15 a ticket at the movie house. And we have doctors that earn $1 million, $2 million, $5 million a year, which is why we may have to pay $1,000 a month for our insurance. You see, the insurance company doesn't care how much the doctors really charge. They're just concerned about how much money they will make after they pay out whatever bills they choose to pay out. So, there's a lot of greed in here, and there needs to be, if we are ever going to get control in the healthcare cost, somebody's going to have to come along and say, wait a minute, this is not right. But the better you take care of yourself, the less you have to go to doctors, the more money you'll really save. So we talk about problems with doctors. We talk about greed. We talk about the drugs that kill. Watch the television. We talk about the cost of an aspirin in a hospital. And in a world that is just drugs after drugs after drugs. That was, we had a campaign that talked about how life, just say no to drugs. Well, there was a picture up in the last segment that represented that. While everybody's taking their drugs for their aspirins prevent pregnancy, to control their moods or whatever it might be, that's what they've been told is necessary. We were telling our kids, just say no to drugs. Yet we are the reason why our children are drug addicts. Because we are drug addicts. Look at your medicine chest. Look at the number of drugs in there. Look at the amount of drugs you take to control your world, and you wonder why our children are on drugs. You wonder why our young athletes want to take steroids. You wonder why. Because we've created that world, folks. We are the problem. Now let's find a solution. We need to take, in the third section, we need to talk about personal responsibility and our destructive choices. We talk about the bad choices we make. There's a lot of people out there still smoking, and there's advertisement now how you can smoke some other fumes that we will probably find out will have other damaging effects to our lungs. Folks, get the pollutants out of the air. Let's have fresh air. That's what we want up on the screen now, is we want to breathe fresh air. We want air that doesn't have, whether it's a perfume, a flavor, or anything else. Folks, I don't agree with the new choices in in vapors and whatever it might be that people may be sticking in their lungs. It's bad enough what we got in our air. Let's get it cleaned up. Why do people smoke? Why do people overindulge in food? We don't have control of them ourselves. We've allowed food to control our life. We've allowed alcohol to control our life, drugs to control our life, and we wonder why we have health problems. We have to be responsible for our own health. And in doing so, that's how you're going to help your family. These are the things we need to learn. These are the things that are in the book. What do you expect from the government? Don't expect too much. Rules and regulations to make sure that what is being presented to you is honest and it's not fraudulent. That's what we need our government for, not to control all of our decisions. We need to know what's a fad and what's really nutritionally of benefit. When it sounds too good, it generally is not true. We need to talk about and understand taking care of yourself. We need to understand how women are really in control in health care. And we need to know how the comfort of taking care of each other is so vital. So that when we get into this, we understand what our responsibilities are. Because that's the most important things towards better health. We need to have the knowledge. That's why the Share Foundation sponsored this book. It's called Solutions to the American Health Crisis, and it is being offered to each and every one of you. Make it a Christmas gift. If you have somebody that needs to have a little bit better responsibility, this is a great book to give them. Give it to your doctor. It is a $30 donation to the Share Foundation, and we will ship it to you free. Just tell them that you learned about this on Rant Radio, and there'll be a no shipping charge. It's just a $30 donation. We have PayPal, we have MasterCard, Visa, all forms of payment. Get it, and we'll get it out to you before the holidays, so you can give it as a gift. It's a great source of education. If you help somebody learn about how to be healthier, you are truly offering them something of tremendous value. So these are the things that we want people to understand. We want them to have the knowledge they need. We want you to have the knowledge you need. Like in the article, when we talk about women in control, you make the majority of health decisions. You make it for your infant as to whether or not you breastfeed. There were doctors who thought that wasn't necessary, and you knew better. And you said, no. This is a natural process. This is what my child needs. And you were proven to be right. Doctors thought, oh, cow's milk is good. But that's men. You have to understand, men aren't that smart sometimes. Because women, thank goodness, healthcare is in the hands of women. I felt that one of the solutions in healthcare should be to take all the medical doctors' signs around colleges and put it over on a nursing college, since most nurses are women. I think women have greater compassion, greater understanding. Women are the ones that come in and put their hand on your forehead, hold your hand. Women are the ones that listen to what your needs are. They will check to see what the problem is. Doctors do what? They look at their charts. They look at their computers. They stopped treating patients. They only treat diseases. So if you think there's a problem out there and you want to find some solutions, get the book. Again, we need the support at the Share Foundation to support our Share clinics, to support this show, to support whatever it is that will help you to have a healthier and longer life. Please consider during the holiday season contributions to the Share Foundation. You can do it by calling area code 562-776-1727. Any amount is greatly appreciated. If you want the book, let them know, and we will give you the book for any $30 donation or greater. We also you can contact us through the website. It's www.sharefoundation, that's CHER foundation.com. When you come on there, you can scroll down the bottom, and it shows you where you can make donations and how to process those donations. Anything and everything is appreciated. We are working to bring you education through all different forms. We are looking at television programming that will be honest and offer you the knowledge that you need to be healthier. We want to write more information up and have it for you. So support the Share Foundation, and when we come back, our last segment and everything else, we'll talk about more solutions for life. We'll be right back.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra-modern, ultra-clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
ProTech Carpet Tile and Care provides professional cleaning services for carpet, tile, grout, upholstery, and fine area rugs.
ProTech technicians are professionally trained and certified cleaning and restoration experts.
We specialize in restoring damage caused by heavy soil and odor.
We can remove challenging spots such as coffee, tea, ink, gum, wine, and many more.
We have saved our customers thousands of dollars on new flooring and furniture expenses with our advanced cleaning processes.
Call for a free estimate at 562-447-4300 and visit us on our website, www.myprotechsite.com.
Hey, this is Joe Perez, owner at ProTech. Just reminding you that ProTech Carpet and Tile Care is your professional choice.
Number one. Number one.
Is that a stutter or as high as you can count?
I was ordering number one tequila.
Everybody's asking for number one.
Great, another fancy bottle.
These guys are true artists. Never compromise integrity. They make tequila
Come
the
on.
old-fashioned way. Never mass-produced.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying have the number one. Anything less is number two. Number one, tequila.
We are the Three Guys Rant with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the three guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69 3 guys. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
And we're back, and this is the final second segment for Solutions for Life today. And we've been talking about Solutions to the American Health Crisis, a book that was written to support the Share Foundation that brings you this program. It's available to each and every one of you. Solutions to the American Health Crisis, for you to have information that will help you live a longer and healthier life. Make a contribution to the Share Foundation of $30 or more, and you will receive a copy of the book. You can call area code 562-776-1727. The last segment of the book talks about, as it is up on the screen, we can fix this. Again, you are the one that's going to have to be involved in getting this fixed. You have an inept government that can't agree on much of anything, and you need to make sure that those in power understand that you want to change. You want to get rid of bad medicine. You want to make some better choices and have better solutions. But some of it falls in your hands. If you go out there and you think that you're buying insurance for your life insurance, in case you die, we're all going to die, and yet 10,000 life insurance is enough. But then you get your finger caught in the door, or someone slammed the door, and you say, "Oh, my little pinky got hurt. I want to be reimbursed $100,000." Is that really realistic? Yet you'll find attorneys that'll be out there trying to get $100,000. Why? Because they can get at least half of it, if not more of it. We've got bad attorneys. We've got bad hospitals. We've got bad doctors. And you need to start making sure that we get rid of them. No business could survive if they kept so many bad employees as healthcare has done. We have drug doctors. Well, all doctors are drug doctors, at least medical doctors. But we have those that are addicted to drugs. We have alcoholic doctors. We have crazy doctors that are emotionally unstable, taking care of our family, our loved ones. We need to get the bad out of the system. This is causing other people's deaths, and we can't tolerate it. But we have to change our attitude about let society pay for it. Or if it is, what are we willing to pay for? We're coming together to try to get everybody insured or under a program that will see that everybody has some form of health care. But, if I abuse myself and I don't take care of my body, should I expect everybody else to take care of it? One of the most famous of this was Mickey Mantle, our famous baseball player, had 3 liver transplants. The final one finally killed him, but he was an alcoholic. He had his challenges. Should he have even received the first liver transplant? If we abuse our bodies, then fine. If they have the money, let them pay for it. But should a person who is out on Skid Row, alcoholic, destroying his body, should we be paying for all of that expense? I think there has to be a certain limitation. And will the government fix it? Oh, they can't. I was driving over here. They can't even fix the highways. We have bridges that are falling down. We have politicians that don't even go into session to discuss the issues. If they are, they fall asleep. All they're concerned about is how much money they can raise so they can get elected another term. Well, they don't really have to. They're going to have a retirement benefit that is unlike any other profession in this world. Am I a little bit anti-politician? Yeah, because they don't serve our needs. They take care of their own needs. Ask them what kind of health insurance they have and how much it's costing you versus what is it you have. So if you're expecting the government to fix it, think again. You also have to decide what kind of doctor you're going to see. Which doctor are you going to choose? That's another article that's in the book. And you have to understand that doctors are in business also, whether as a chiropractor or as a pharmacist or as a surgeon, medical doctor, acupuncturist, whatever it might be. They are there to offer their services. You are going to have to decide which services may be best for you. You have to be educated. You have to decide. You have to read. You have to learn. It is your choice. So if you go to, and I've often said, if you go to a Ford dealer, don't expect him to sell you a Chevy. That is not their area of expertise. They have their product. A medical doctor, if he's a surgeon, what is he going to sell you? Surgery. A medical doctor is going to sell you drugs. He's a doctor of medicine. He's a drug doctor. That's all he has to offer. Don't ask for nutritional advice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He hasn't had the education. Are there some medical doctors who have expanded their knowledge and may have greater knowledge? Yes. If you want to know nutrition, go to a nutritionist. Go to a doctor that has that advanced knowledge. Maybe a chiropractor, maybe a different doctor's, may even be a medical doctor. But look for one that has the knowledge. When you make decisions, understand what different doctors offer. Medical doctors offer surgery for back pain. Chiropractors adjust the spine and offer relief in many cases that can be less costly, less damaging, and more beneficial. But you have to seek it. The medical doctor's not going to send you there. He simply wants to do the surgery. Should there be limitations? Yes. Because there's a little bit of greed in all of us. We all want all that we can get. I remember when there was a big problem in healthcare back in the 70s. And they put a mic in front of somebody that was at the hospital. She says, I want everything I can get. I want everything I can get, regardless of what it costs. Well, who's going to pay the bill? You are. And therefore, we have runaway costs. Our medical health care cost is higher than any place on this planet. And yet, we don't have the best health care services. In spite of what our politicians may say on news programs, we have we have a crisis in health care. And about HMOs, hey, be careful. Because they set the rules. They'll choose the doctors you go to, the procedures that are given, the decisions are theirs. You will not choose unless you get a policy that allows you to choose other doctors. Make sure you understand what you're insured for. Now we're coming into a time in which that decision is going to be a little bit different. There's going to be maybe more choices. I don't know how it's going to work out. But you have to understand that you need to know, you need to be educated. When it comes to medical liability, there's such a thing as medical mistakes. honest mistakes. It was, you have a choice if you choose the wrong direction. But if it was a reasonable choice that the doctor made, should we have malpractice suits that are multi-million dollars? No. Not when you're the one's going to end up paying for it all the time. We, the public, have to pay these prices. And yet we educate our doctors, and doctors are graduating with $250,000, $500,000 in debt. Something's wrong when a doctor graduating has to be charging so much. Then he's straddled with sometimes bills that he has to earn $1,000 a week just to pay for his insurance, let alone $1,000 a week to pay for his education, let alone the rent and the staff. And we expect them to be philanthropic? We need to look at the healthcare system and the cost of developing doctors. Do we need to pay for people's stupidity? If they've damaged their liver, do I have to pay for it? If they're smoking, do I have to pay for them to have new lungs? I don't think so. But we do have to get rid of the bad doctors. We've got to get them out of our hospitals. We've got to get them out of practice. Let them go sell insurance. Let them sell used cars. They're good at lying and cheating. You let them go where they can earn a living, but not doing damage to us. You want to change, you can make it a change. I remember when McDonald's had hamburgers and French fries. That's all they basically had. Now they have salads. You can choose a difference and make a difference by what you choose and what you are willing to buy. You go to McDonald's, you don't have to buy that deep fried apple pie. You can get some sliced apples. There are solutions. There's solutions when we talk about doctors. There's solutions in the hospitals, in the pharmacies. I always get upset, excuse me, when you buy a piece of meat or something like this in the market, or you buy something at the market and it's not good, or it doesn't work, or it's not right, or you're not satisfied. You can take it back and get a refund. And yet I've seen people pay $100 for a little tube of medication, didn't do any good, and then they give another prescription for another tube of medication that isn't any good, or another pill. Maybe all of our pharmaceutical companies that claim to be so knowledgeable about health care, where they should guarantee that's not going to kill us. Insurance companies, they need to be honest. They need to make sure that if they are servicing the needs of the people, yes, they have to make a profit. But how do they make the profit? Government has to make sure that we're being treated fairly, because we don't know. We don't know the ins and outs of it. But the biggest responsibility comes from you. Your responsibility. Your health is your responsibility. And if you don't ask, if you don't raise questions, if you don't demand something better, you're going to get whatever's dished out. I'm reminded of The Doctor of the Future, written up by Thomas Edison. We all know Edison. We get a bill every month from Edison. But Thomas Edison was the U.S. inventor, genius in his own right. And he said, the doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest her or his patients in the care of the human frame, in a proper diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. Quote, unquote, Thomas Edison. He knew what he was talking about. If one of the sad things in the father of medicine was Hippocrates. And if Hippocrates were alive today, he would be crying. He would be so sad because of our attitude and the healthcare attitude. And there's what was called a Hippocratic oath that medical doctors take. And in that oath, avoid those twin traps of over-treating and other problems that you can create. Don't play God, and that's what so many doctors are. I'm Dr. Coy. This is the Share Foundation. Give us a call and get your book, Solutions to the American Health Crisis. It's been my pleasure to share with you this past hour. Take good care. Be healthy.